So, what's your name and where are you from?
Well, my name is Derek. Everybody calls me D. I'm from Louisiana, a town called Marksville, and I've been in Austin almost 17 years. So,
what made you want to be a barber?
Well, that's an interesting story. I've always kind of like cut hair since I was probably about 14 or so.
Where'd you start at?
I started at home. Doing my neighbor and doing some of my teammates because I played basketball. But the way I became a barber is that my dad always cut our hair. Mm-hmm. And so we was always the kids at school that got picked on because our haircuts was awful. awful.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll tell a quick story. My dad would go on this convention every summer. And we would get a chance to stay in a hotel. It had a mall downstairs, like food court, all that jazz. We get to go to the pool. It was fun. Every summer we did the same thing. And the summer before, like during my 7th grade, 8th grade year, I had a girl that I liked. And we knew we was gonna see each other that following summer. So that particular haircut before we left for that New Orleans trip was awful. It was awful. And I had to wake up the next morning. Good thing my mom's always late because it gave me some time to get my courage up and finally come to my pops and ask him, like, you know, bro, you got to cut this off. I can't go down there like this. And he ended up shaving it. He ended up shaving my head. So I went to New Orleans that summer with a shaved head, and that was the last time he ever cut my hair. And I went to the barbershop a couple of weeks when we got back, and it was everything. It was just like, I was infatuated. And I would go home and touch up my little, you know, peach fuzz and tighten up my edge up on the way in between haircuts. And I stayed there for a long time.
And how old were you around this time?
I was old enough, actually it didn't happen right away, honestly, now that I think back. Because I was a freshman during that time. And so it took me a little while before I got a chance to get my driver's license. And when I got my driver's license at 16, that's when I was able to do the barbershop. In between there, I had a neighbor that summer. He was from Chicago, and he was learning how to cut hair too. So that's my first fade was from Andre from Chicago. Okay. So that's around the age where I was whenever I started.
So by this time, do you think it was like something that you want to pursue, or was it just a hobby?
Well, my dad and my mom both are educated. And it was a big deal for them, and it was always a conversation like, it wasn't for me, it wasn't whether or not you wanted to go to college, it was like, you going to college, and which way are you going? You going to Southern, you going to Grambling? You know, they Southern University alumni. So I never really took it seriously because they never gave me that option. So I was about 4 years in the school before I realized, you know what, this is honestly my passion, this is what I really want to do. And so I had to go up to him again the second time and get your nuts up under you and kind of had that conversation like, you know what, Dad, I think I'm going to quit school and go to barber school. He was not happy. He wasn't happy. So I think that's when it became serious.
Okay. So do you feel like being a barber is your purpose in life? Or if not, what is?
Purpose is an interesting word. Purpose is an interesting word. Because I'm a believer, so I gotta put a stamp on that. Right. And a lot of times, our purpose is bigger than ourselves. It's something that was given to us by a power greater than us. And so, I would say, being a barber is the platform in which I use my purpose. Right. I always say, cutting hair is about 10% of what we do. Yeah. The rest is the rest. Right. You know, so
what would you say are your short-term goals and your long-term goals for BarberVision, or just your life in general?
Right now, it took us some time to get to this particular juncture where BarberVision is, and I'm super grateful for the assembled team that we have. A lot of y'all have been with me for a long time. Y'all know Joe, but Joe's always been right on the side of me. He's absolutely amazing. I don't think there's very many people you're gonna meet that has the characteristics of a human being that he's had.
Yeah, I've been knowing Joe for a while.
Very rare.
Yeah.
And he's exceptional at being a person that you can communicate with. You know that he's going to give you some advice that's going to catapult you to a different level in your life.
Right.
And I call him like first-time client aficionado. Like the dude been in the chair 2 minutes and look like they've been knowing each other 20 years.
Yeah.
So he's super awesome at that. We've added in Miss Joy. You know, female barbers in this industry are becoming extremely popular.
Right.
I've been having the pleasure to be around her for the last couple of weeks. She's just a warm spirit. Everybody feels comfortable with her. She's always comforting in her personality, and the client always feels like, you know, she's taking their time. She's one-on-one with them, super one-on-one with them. And relationship building is a big part of why we call it BarberVision. We added in Colombo as well, and anything you send to this guy, he's got it. He's no rookie. He's been in this industry for a long time. He's told me that he was a shop owner as well in San Diego, and so the team we have assembled currently has the potential, in my opinion, has the right ingredients to be one of the best teams, the best barbers collectively in this city. So I want to see that being expanded. I want more of the city to know that,
right?
And see where that takes it. I always stand on, like, we don't have to be the best or the biggest, but we got to be the best version of ourselves, and that's somewhere on that purpose that you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, if we can do that, then the sky's the limit about individually and collectively what we can do. So that's the immediate goal. Long-term goal is, like, you know, finding other people in the industry that love this business, love this industry as much as we do, and you know, passing it on to younger barbers in this profession and the community that we surround ourselves with. That's what I really want to see.
So what's the main thing that you want this person watching the video to know about you and the brand?
That BarberVision is about people. We care about people. We care about relationships. We care about growing this industry. That we want to see the best you emerge. And just because we see you every week, every 2 weeks, every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, whatever your frequency, I want to see the evolution of every single person that comes sit down in this chair and the rest of the chairs in the shop. That's what I want to see. That's what I want them to get.